92% of people will end this year exactly where they started. Same bank account, same body, same Sundays scrolling. Here's why. Results are a lagging indicator. They are the leftovers of who you were 6 to 12 months ago. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you the 5-phase system I call the 1% lag. By the end of this video, you'll stop staring at the scoreboard and start raising the standard. You think you're behind. You're not behind. You're at 30 degrees. Heat an ice cube from 10 degrees to 31, and nothing happens. To an outsider, you're failing. At 32, it melts. You weren't failing at 30. You were storing potential. You were making deposits in an account no one could see yet, including you. Most people quit at 31 because they can't see the puddle. The 1% don't quit. They keep heating. This is why your habits last year didn't pay off. The math hadn't caught up yet. 5 phases. Stop the bleed. Build the core 4. Sit in the dark. Survive month 6. Become the person. Lock those in for 12 months and the world won't recognize you. You won't recognize yourself. This isn't tactics. This is the 1% lag. The gap between who you become and what the world rewards you for. 2 years ago, I was the same person checking the bank balance every Sunday night, doing the math, getting frustrated. I'd been working hard for 18 months and had nothing to show for it. I thought I was failing. I wasn't. I was at 30 degrees. The moment I stopped chasing outcomes and started running this system, the math caught up. Fast. Here's the stack, which brings us to phase number 1. Stop the bleed. Phase 1 isn't start doing, it's stop doing. You can't build a house on a swamp. Charlie Munger called this inversion. Don't ask what life you want, ask what life you don't want. Then look at the people who have that life. They all share the same habits. They react to their phone the second they wake up. They consume more than they produce. They complain about things they don't control. For the first 90 days, don't worry about results. Worry about subtractions. Cut the complaining. Cut the news. Cut the mindless scrolling. Cut the losers in your circle. Cut quitting hard tasks. Cut talking about your goals. If you just stop the habits that make you average, you're already ahead of 80% of people. The 99% adds. The 1% subtracts. Which brings us to phase number 2. Build the core 4. You don't need 47 habits. You need 4 non-negotiables, things you do regardless of how you feel. Physical. Move every day. Walk, lift, sweat. The exact workout doesn't matter. The signal does. Every time you train when you don't feel like it, you tell your brain, I do what I say I'll do. Mental. Garbage in, garbage out. Replace 30 minutes of scrolling with 30 minutes of reading. 1 book a month. 1 long-form interview a week. 1 journal entry a day. Financial. Stop trading time for money. Build something that compounds without you. A skill, a product, a body of work you own. 2 focused hours a day on inventory for your future self. Spiritual. Sit alone. 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no input. If you can't sit with yourself, you don't control your mind. And if you don't control your mind, nothing else matters. 4 pillars. Daily, boring, non-negotiable. Which brings us to phase number 3. Sit in the dark. For the first 3 months of running the core 4, you will look like you are failing. That is the proof. Your bank account won't move. Your body won't change visibly. Your friends will joke about your new routine. The compounding hasn't surfaced yet. This is the danger zone. This is where 90% quit. Good. You're not them. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards results. And results lag effort by months, sometimes a year. You have to be okay working in the dark, making deposits no one sees, trusting the math. The math always pays. Just not today. Which brings us to phase number 4. Survive month 6. Month 6 is the kill zone. Your habits are automatic, the novelty is dead, and the world still hasn't noticed. This is when the brain whispers, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. This is when your old self knocks on the door. Don't answer. Month 6 isn't failure. Month 6 is the last test before the math turns. Every 1% person I've ever talked to has the same month 6 story. They almost quit. They didn't. That's the entire gap between them and the 99%. One decision made when no one was watching. Which brings us to phase number 5. Become the person. Around month 10, something strange happens. You stop trying to be disciplined. You just are. You don't negotiate with the gym. You don't negotiate with the work. The resistance you felt in month 1 is gone. It's not effort anymore. It's identity. And here's the punchline. You don't get the life of the 1% by chasing the 1%'s outcomes. You get it by raising the standard you accept from yourself, and then waiting for the world to notice. Stop looking at the scoreboard. Start looking at the standard. The scoreboard is a lagging indicator. Always was. Remember the ice cube. You're not at 30 degrees waiting to boil. You're at 32, and the water is already melting. The world just hasn't seen the puddle yet. In 12 months, it will. The you of today already did the work. If you want the 1% lag as a one-page checklist, every habit to cut, every pillar to install, every milestone marked, comment the word lag. I'll send you the PDF. Also, check the description for more useful resources. Subscribe. Comment your phase below. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I read every one. And if you want to see exactly what month 13 looks like, the morning routine of the person you'll become, click the next video on screen. I'll see you on the other side.